He sent me one.
Yeah, they're called mini katanas. By the way, this thing is like 6 feet long. It's so
it's not
long.
mini.
Nothing mini about it. You know how pissed my wife was that we got this like giant sword in the house now? And I'm like, I don't know. It's supposed to be small. I don't know what happened. And they couldn't run Facebook ads or Google ads because you can't advertise weapons. And so what he did was really smart. Was he basically got content creators to make cool video. He turned his disadvantage to his advantage. His disadvantage was I can't run ads. His advantage was I sell a cool product, swords, and there's a lot of cool content you can make with swords. And he just used YouTube and TikTok to go viral many times. And he built it up to like 10 million or so a year. Basically, like, 10 to 20 million a year in revenue on the Katana brand. But of course, surprise, surprise, there's not a lot of repeat purchase in the sword niche, right? Like you're not, there are some collectors, but for most people don't want a sword. Of the people who want a sword, you might just want one. You might not want to fill your house with swords. So it was not a great e-com product. But what's he doing now? He switched.
Hold on. Before you get to what he's doing now, you missed a few points about Isaac. So Isaac, I listened to a podcast with him. He was like, he did Postmates and like freelancing and things like that. And then he's like, I'm going to start a business. And so he was like, yeah, we can't, like you said, we can't advertise, but you didn't say how big his channels got. So basically he was like, I'm going hard on content. And so he gets 1 billion views a month across his network of YouTube channels. And so his main channel on YouTube, which only launched in 2022, has 8.7 million subscribers and and billions of views. And this is like not their main product. Their main product is the swords, and they're just using this as marketing. But they knocked it out the park.
It's an incredible example of marketing. I've used this. I've learned some things from Isaac and used them in my business that have been very effective. And it's just a different way of thinking about marketing. So, but what he was doing was he would say, all right, how do you sell a mini katana? You can either go to people who already are collectors. That's a really, really small market. You go to people who might be interested. Why? Because they have interest in anime and different like interest overlaps. Where do they hang out? Okay, they hang out on TikTok and on YouTube. All right, cool. How do I actually get them to want my product? How do I build desire for my product? And what he did was instead of saying, here's the sword, here's the features, here's how the handle looks, here's how sharp it is, whatever. He's like, do you think I can cut this bullet in half? If I shot a bullet at somebody, at this ninja, do you think the ninja could cut it in half with a sword? That video has like, I don't know, 10, 20 million views. It's like an insane video where a guy literally chops a bullet in half as it's flying at him using a sword. And then he does another one where it's like,
which is kind of like that's like a weird thing. That's like saying like, if you punch me saying like, told you my face could stop that. Like, like the bullet aims at the sword.
Hurt your hand, huh?
Yeah.
as you bleed. He also did one that was like another marketing thing I really liked of his was how do you not mention the product in a way that drives the comments crazy? So he started a video that was, or not he, but like one of his creators started a video that was like, they're like cooking a steak. So you think it's a cooking video and it's about a steak. And then they put the steak on the cutting board. And then they take a giant katana and they cut it into slices, but they never mention the katana. And every comment was like, are we going to talk about him using a actual sword to cut the steak? What the hell was that? And the comments drive the virality. And it was, if he had said, now watch me use this sword, people wouldn't care. It's when he didn't mention the sword that all the comments have to talk about, bro, what is this? And it's that type of social engineering that I think was really, really smart. All he needed was a better product.
I want to like catch a wave. And so he said, what can I launch that fits that? And so what did he launch?
He launched a freeze-dried candy brand called Kanpai Foods. And it's basically a candy brand. And it's, I don't, have you ever had freeze-dried candy? I've never tried this.
I don't think I've had this. I don't really know what it is.
All right, so here's what it says. Freeze-dried process removes all moisture from the candy, leaving behind a perfectly crunchy treat. So I think it's candy that's crunchy like a chip, basically.
And light. So it's like a gummy bear, but
it's like a
light.
Yeah, exactly. It's like just the sugar. And so he, by the way, this is a great example of one of the most valuable insights that I ever had on the podcast. When Alex Hormozy came on the podcast a long time ago, I don't know when this was. His first came on like 3 years ago. And, Hormozy puts out like, a metric shit ton of content every month. And I don't consume all of it. But this one thing he said to me 3 years ago on our podcast has stuck with me. And I've repeated it to myself and many others. I actually told Isaac this at a party once when I was talking about, dude, you are doing 10 out of 10 execution on a 2 out of 10 opportunity. This was the advice I needed to hear early in my career because I started a restaurant and I tried to do all the coolest shit in the world and I tried my hardest and I was trying to bring 10 out of 10 effort and I thought I was a 10 out of 10 talent, but I was going after a 2 out of 10 opportunity. And that's what Hormozy said that's the advice he got from Russell Brunson about his gym launch thing. They were like, dude, you're an amazing marketer, but you're just using your marketing to launch brick and mortar gym chains one at a time, a couple in a year maybe. What you need to do, that's you taking 10 out of 10 execution at a 2 out of 10 opportunity, brick and mortar, small scale boutique gyms. Instead, what you should do is take your marketing playbook and go sell it to every gym across the country. That's the 10 out of 10 opportunity. Similarly, just the last segment we talked about with the Dr. Becky, taking her expertise in children, if all she did was saw five clients a day as a clinical child psychologist or whatever it is, that would be a smaller opportunity than what she decided to do, which was make a media product that's scaled to millions of people and then charge, a membership fee and make 13 to 15 million a year on her membership fees, right? That's a same skill set, bigger opportunity, or same person, bigger opportunity. I think what Isaac's done is he's taken that 10 out of 10 content playbook that he really mastered, and he switched from going to a 1, I would actually give the sword thing, honestly, a 1 or 2 out of 10 opportunity. And now he's going for a sort of a 5 or 6 out of 10, maybe 6 or 7 out of 10 opportunity because he said it right. He might have had 100% of the mini katana market before, and it'll be smaller than him getting 0.5% of the candy market, or even the alternative candy market in this case.
What did you do with your mini katana?
It's sitting right over there on the wall in my office in a case, just in case.
Which is the problem with it, which is the exact problem with that business is mine's doing the same thing. It's just sitting there and I showed it to 3 people one
time. Am I
time.
supposed to practice every day? What am I supposed to do with
it? And so did he shut down mini katana?
I have no idea, but he should.
All right. Just light it on fire and throw it in the dumpster and hope no one finds it with that whole business.
It's honestly an underrated